Imagine this. You're at the airport, bags packed, passport in hand, excited to board your flight for that dream vacation or business trip. But as you approach the check-in desk, the agent looks at you with a frown. Sorry, your entry application hasn't been approved yet. Your heart drops. You did everything right, so what went wrong? This could happen to you if your Electronic Travel Authorization, ETA, is delayed. It's frustrating, confusing, and it can completely derail your plans. In this video, we'll go over the 5 most common reasons ETA applications get delayed. By the end, you'll understand exactly what might hold up your ETA approval, what steps to take, and how to avoid this nightmare in the future. What you'll learn in this video. By watching this video, you will learn the 5 main reasons why ETA applications get delayed, practical tips to avoid these delays, a step-by-step action plan to ensure your ETA is processed smoothly, how to double-check your application before submitting it, what to do if you find yourself stuck at the airport because of a delay. You'll never have to worry about last-minute ETA issues again. Let's dive in. Main explanation section 1. Incomplete or incorrect information. One of the most common reasons ETA applications are delayed is because the information provided is incomplete or incorrect. Who it applies to. This applies to anyone applying for an ETA, whether it's for tourism, business, or other short stays. Who is exempt. If you're applying on behalf of someone else, like a child, the same rules apply. Common misunderstandings. Some travelers mistakenly believe that small errors like a typo or missing details won't matter. However, even something as simple as a misspelled name or the wrong date of birth can cause the system to reject or delay your ETA approval. Real example. Imagine you accidentally enter your passport number incorrectly or forget to include your full address. This will trigger an error in the system, causing a delay as the authorities try to verify your information. What to do? Double-check your personal details before submitting. Make sure all the information matches exactly what is in your passport. If you realize you've made an error after submitting, some countries allow you to edit or correct the application. If not, you may need to start over and reapply. Errors in your travel history. Another reason ETA applications can be delayed is if there are discrepancies in your travel history. Who it applies to. Anyone with a complex travel history, like frequent travelers or those with past issues, for example, overstayed visas, deportations, etc. Who is exempt. If you've never traveled internationally or have a clean travel record, this may not apply to you. Common misunderstandings. People often think that their travel history isn't important for ETA applications. But if the system detects a previous overstay, a visa violation, or issues at border control, the authorities may need additional time to verify your situation. Real example. Let's say you once stayed beyond the allowed period in a country. Even if it was years ago, the system might flag this during your ETA application and cause a delay while they check your past travels. What to do? Be honest when providing your travel history. If you've had issues with past visas or overstays, you may need to provide extra documents to clarify your situation. Always keep records of your past travels, as you might need to provide evidence that resolves any discrepancies. Incorrect or outdated passport details. Your passport is one of the most important documents when applying for an ETA. If the passport details you provide are outdated, incorrect, or don't match the information in the ETA system, your application could face delays. Who it applies to. Anyone applying for an ETA with an expired passport or a passport with incorrect details. Who is exempt. If your passport is new and has been issued recently with accurate details, you are less likely to face this issue. Common misunderstandings. Travelers often assume that as long as their passport is valid, there's no need to double-check the information on the ETA form. This is incorrect. If the passport details, like the issue date or number, don't match, your ETA may be delayed. Real example. You may have renewed your passport a year ago, but forgot to update the passport number on your ETA application. This inconsistency will lead to a delay in processing while they cross-check the details. What to do? Check your passport expiration date before applying for an ETA. ensure that all details match exactly, especially the passport number and your full name. If you've recently renewed your passport, update all relevant details on your ETA application. Insufficient travel documents or supporting information. While ETAs are meant to be quick and straightforward, there are times when additional documents are needed. For instance, some countries may ask for proof of sufficient funds, an onward flight ticket, or other supporting documents. Who it applies to. This applies mostly to travelers from countries with specific entry requirements or restrictions. Who is exempt. Tourists or business travelers applying from countries with less strict entry rules might not face this issue. Common misunderstandings. Some travelers believe they can submit only the basics, like passport info, and receive automatic approval. However, some countries need extra verification. If they don't receive these documents, or if they are incomplete, your ETA will be delayed. Real example. You might be asked to provide a bank statement showing proof of sufficient funds, especially if your stay is long-term. If you don't provide this in time, your ETA could be delayed or rejected. What to do? Verify the specific entry requirements of your destination country. Make sure you have any requested documents prepared in advance, such as proof of funds, return tickets, or travel insurance. Submit additional documents promptly if asked. System overload or high application volume. Sometimes delays have nothing to do with your application itself. If there's an unusually high number of applications being processed, the system may become overwhelmed, causing delays. Who it applies to. This can apply to any traveler applying for an ETA, particularly during peak travel seasons or after major events like holidays or special international conferences. Who is exempt. There's no exemption to system delays. Everyone is affected equally during times of high demand. Common misunderstandings. Travelers often think their ETA is delayed because of their personal application, when in fact, the system is simply backed up. Real example, a family applying for an ETA just before the summer vacation season notices a delay in their approval. In fact, the system is processing thousands of applications for vacationers, and this leads to slower processing times. What to do? Apply for your ETA well in advance of your planned travel date, at least 3 to 4 weeks ahead. Stay updated on any changes or delays reported by the ETA processing authorities. Consider using a faster processing service if available and needed. Common mistakes travelers make. Let's look at some common mistakes that travelers make when applying for an ETA and how to avoid them. Not checking the ETA processing time. Many travelers submit their ETA application too late, not realizing that processing can take time. Always check the estimated processing time for your ETA before booking your flight. Using outdated or incorrect travel information. As mentioned earlier, errors like a wrong passport number or incorrect travel dates can delay your application. Always ensure all your details are up to date, not double-checking supporting documents. Some countries require extra documents such as a visa or travel insurance. If you don't submit these documents on time, your ETA approval may be delayed. Applying at the last minute. The earlier you apply, the better. Don't wait until the last minute to submit your ETA. Always allow enough time for any unforeseen issues. Forgetting to keep copies of your application. It's important to keep a copy of your ETA application and any supporting documents for your records. This will help you if you need to follow up or if any issues arise later. Special Situations section. There are a few edge cases that might affect your ETA approval. Connecting flights. If you're traveling through a country and your ETA is for a layover, you may not need an ETA for your connecting country. But if you plan to leave the airport during the layover, you'll likely need an ETA. Dual nationality. If you hold dual nationality, make sure you apply with the passport you intend to travel with. Some travelers forget to. Consider this, leading to discrepancies in their ETA application. Expired passport. If your passport is expired or close to expiring, you'll need to renew it before applying for an ETA. Some countries require that your passport be valid for at least 6 months beyond your travel dates. Step-by-step action plan. Here's a simple action plan to make sure your ETA application goes smoothly. Check ETA requirements. Verify the ETA rules for the country you are traveling to. Apply early. Submit your ETA at least 3 to 4 weeks in advance of your trip. Double-check information. Ensure all details match your passport exactly. Prepare supporting documents. Gather any additional documents, such as proof of funds or return tickets. Verify processing times. Be aware of the processing times and any potential delays. Follow up. If you haven't received your ETA within the expected time, follow up with the authorities. Keep copies. Save a copy of your application and documents. Final warning/important reminder. Before you go, here's one last reminder. Always double-check your application and ensure all documents are up to date. The last thing you want is to be stuck at the airport because of a preventable mistake. Strong closing. Traveling should be exciting, not stressful. By following these tips, you can avoid the common ETA delays that many travelers face. Don't let confusion or last-minute issues ruin your trip. Start preparing early, check all the details, and always stay informed. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with other travelers who could benefit from this advice. Safe travels.